Well, I'm very proud of the one big beautiful bill that was signed into law on July 4th because it's the largest spending cut in American history, and it helps us get on a path to fiscal responsibility. It prevented the largest tax increase in American history. It means real money in the pocket of working families out there in America. It unleashed American energy, which is going to help drive down costs, and it gives the president the resources he needs to secure the southern border once and for all. It's a great piece of legislation, but also we were able to use this reconciliation process to get a major win for those of us who care about the Second Amendment rights of all citizens, and that was to zero out the tax for suppressors and short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns. As we were beginning this process of reconciliation, beginning of this year, January, February timeframe, I started thinking, how can I use this reconciliation bill, this reconciliation process, to advance our Second Amendment rights? Because of the restrictions on reconciliation, it has to actually have a budgetary impact. We're very limited with our options. You know, for example, my concealed carry reciprocity bill is a top priority for me, but there's really not a financial impact on the federal government there. But another priority for me is the Hearing Protection Act, which I have a strong interest as a father to protect the hearing of my son as I introduce him to shooting and to hunting. And so I've gone through the process of acquiring a suppressor for his rifles because I want to protect his hearing. In the same way, I'm the congressman of Fort Bragg, largest Army base in the world, home of the Airborne and Special Forces. Our Special Forces community almost universally now uses suppressors to protect the hearing of our soldiers. I want to see the entire Army and in fact the entire U.S. military move to suppressors. When we issue that young soldier the rifle, I want to issue them a suppressor as well because I want to protect their hearing. It just makes sense. But the suppressor does nothing to make that weapon more lethal. And so there's no reason for it to even be on the NFA list in the first place. But any American who cares about that, and any new shooter who wants to get involved and doesn't want as loud a report on their rifle, you have to go through this onerous process of filling out paperwork and waiting on the federal government, and then you have to pay that $200 tax per suppressor. Now we've made it a lot easier by eliminating that $200 tax. We were able to get this provision into the House version of the reconciliation bill. At that point, we were hearing from Second Amendment activists, NRA members from all over the country who were calling their members of Congress, encouraging them to support this amendment in the bill and support the bill. And I think it had a huge influence on a lot of members of Congress who may not be as educated on these issues. So that grassroots involvement was crucial at that kind of early stage. Someone who used to be a Second Amendment advocate, if not activist, before I ran for Congress, I'm very encouraged that we were able to have this win. There's a whole laundry list of things I would like to accomplish to restore the rights that have been taken away from us by really bad laws. There's a whole lot of work left to be done, like my concealed carry reciprocity bill. There's a number of other things I'd like to do that are top priorities for me. But I think at this point we can say this is the most significant win we've had for the Second Amendment rights as long as I can remember. And so I would say to our activist community out there, be heartened. This is the first win. Let's work together and go get some other wins. Reducing that tax to zero demonstrates the intent of Congress that we shouldn't really be regulating suppressors and short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns. I think it creates some great momentum for a legal challenge to having these items on the NFA in the first place. If there's no tax stamp required, if there's no fee that needs to be paid, why does it need to be on that list anyway? And again, as I mentioned, particularly in the case of suppressors, they don't increase the lethality of a weapon in any way. You're still going to have a pretty loud report when you're firing a typical rifle with a suppressor. It's not like in the movies when they're silent. And so, there's no impact to safety. And so I think this legislation does create pretty good legal momentum to challenge these items being on the NFA in the first place.